Hey guys, I've been crying for a couple days, so I really don't want to put myself on video today. So we're gonna focus on the cards. And my topic, triggers. I know I've covered this before, but man, did I have a big one yesterday, and have I been having them lately that have really made me see a lot of fucking things. And the most important thing on a healing journey is to understand triggers, the feelings that they bring up in you, and why it's affecting you, what can you do about it, and what is it telling you about yourself. So, I've been having some issues with my mother that does not like my choice for moving in with a certain someone, my divine masculine. So she keeps projecting all of this shit onto me, and it's really fucking triggering. So, let's get to it. When you are triggered, people usually want to see a trigger as a bad thing, but it's not. A trigger is telling you something about yourself. First of all, you need to listen to yourself. You need to free yourself of, who you used to be, what you've been taught, what society wants you to be, and be free of that. You're allowed to live your life the way your heart leads you to. So always listen to yourself. Listen to what is going on within you, and try your best to figure out what the fuck is going on inside of you. Because being triggered isn't usually the other person's fault. Unless it's, within some sort of abusive relationship or some sort of abuse or, something that is incredibly unhealthy that is not necessarily your fault. But triggers are there for a reason. You need to take the risk and listen. Stop focusing on the emotion in the moment. I know it's really fucking hard. I had this issue yesterday, and I just I was holding on to a lot of emotion, and then I just kind of exploded on another person. I wasn't really able to listen to myself in the moment. I know it's really fucking hard from personal experience. But you need to listen. You need to free yourself of all the programming you've been forced upon you. And just understand where it's coming from. Why is this happening? What is it teaching me about myself? And trust that yes, the situation may be complicated. The world is complicated. Everything is fucking complicated. Nothing is just black and white. There are always gray. And, you need to trust that it's happening for a reason, that what is coming up is for your greatest good. Even if it is hard to see in the moment, when you get through it, you can understand and actually be grateful for the situation, for teaching you about yourself. I know it's hard when you're going through it. And what I've always said, you need to feel it to heal it. So do not avoid what is happening. If you're feeling all of these, negative emotions, don't avoid that shit. Don't go into the toxic positivity bullshit that, good vibes only and whatever. If you're feeling something negative, feel it to its fullest, because you need to. It's coming up for a reason. Do not avoid it. Do not ignore it. Do not try to, distance yourself from it. Feel it. I know it sucks, but it's coming up for a reason. So you need to feel it, and then you can try and understand it. You can, look back on, what did this bring up in me? Why did this bring this up in me? What was going on in me at the time? And how can I better react, or, handle the situation differently? Or, how can I change myself so that this does not bother me anymore? You also need to forgive yourself when you don't react in the best way. Because, most of us that are truly awake, and I must say that woke and awake have huge fucking differences. Y'all that say you're woke are not fucking awake. Being awake is being aware that there is so much more going on than just this bullshit that people are choosing sides and, my side is right and your side is wrong. Especially this political bullshit with all these stupid people saying, oh, I'm woke, but I'm, left wing or right wing. Dumbasses, the left and the right are the wings of the same bird. I'm sorry, you are not awake, and you're claiming to be woke is an embarrassment. So, moving on. Triggers are messages. Triggers are telling you something about yourself. And I know it's hard in the moment, but you have to forgive yourself for not reacting in the best way. Because yes, yesterday, I have been having a lot of issues with my mother, that she does not like my choice. So every time I try to talk about that choice, she gets passive-aggressive and a little bit verbally abusive, and it's really hurtful. So I had a lot of anxiety about going to a doctor's appointment. I first tried to cancel it, and then, she's like, are you going? And I'm just like having all these panic attacks at, fine, I'll fucking go. And then, of course, I missed the appointment because of traffic, and it just made me feel worse because I didn't want to be stuck in the car with her all day. And I just had all this fucking, aggravation going on inside me and anxiety, that when my mom was following too closely to the car in front of us, the asshole passenger guy sticks his head out of the window, stares at us, so I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, back the fuck up, bitch. So of course I must defend my mother's honor, so I started cussing him out and threw a bottle at his car. Okay, yes, not the best reaction, but you know what? The bitch deserved it. Of course, my mom's like, was that necessary? And I was like, that was absolutely fucking necessary. He was telling you to back the fuck up, bitch. So I'm like, yeah, fuck you, motherfucker. Okay, moving on. Not the best reaction to my aggravation that was building up, that I did not want to spend the day with my mother, who has been really getting under my skin. I can't tell my mother how I really feel. I must respect my mother, so I took it out on someone else. I must forgive myself for that. The trigger told me, you know, you're holding on to some things. And like my mother has been doing to me, projecting her annoyance and hurt and whatever with anger and passive-aggressive bullshit that has been really hurting me, I've been holding on to it because, of course, it's my mother and I must respect her, and I can't tell her how I really feel. So I took it out on someone else. I must forgive myself for that. And the trigger is really telling me that I can't hold on to this shit. Because then I end up taking it out on other people. Even though he was a fucking asshole and he deserved it, I shouldn't have done that. But I was holding on to a lot of fucking aggravation from this shit that's been going on for weeks. You can't hold on to that. Even though where I'm at right now, I don't have the most constructive ways of getting that out, other than, isolating myself in my bedroom. Like, I'm, normally a hermit anyways, but I don't get that aggravation out in the most healthy ways. It ends up building up in me, and I take it out on people instead of, having a conversation with the one that I'm actually feeling some kind of way about. So, triggers are good because this taught me that when I'm feeling some kind of way, I do not need to be in public, because I'm going to end up taking that shit out on somebody that doesn't necessarily deserve it. So I need to work out my own issues without being in public where other people can piss me off, so I can take it out on them. I know not everyone has the same issue, but this is, generalized. Everybody has triggers. Everybody has emotions. Everybody needs to feel those emotions in order to heal them, and everybody needs to be self-aware. You need to understand yourself. You have to look within and listen to what is going on inside of you, and trust that it will work out. That even though it's complicated, that you will understand it. Like, going through it sucks, and it's hard to, think clearly and understand it in the moment, but, once it passes, you will feel so much better and understand yourself so much better and be able to react and, do things differently once you understand why you do the things you do. So forgive yourself for making mistakes, because we all make them. And it's not the worst thing in the world. Even, nobody's fucking perfect. And yeah, you know what? Some people do deserve a big fuck you, because just some people are assholes. And just because I'm spiritual don't mean I'm not going to tell somebody to fuck off if they're being an asshole. But that's besides the point. Who knows if this made sense. I just kind of felt like making this video, but I don't want to, show my face right now because I'm all cried out and puffy. But I love y'all, and have a good night.